Howdy all, Nimby here. Today we're going to be tying up some Bucktail Caddis. They're going to be tied on a size 6 hook. There's the finished guys right there. To start off with their material list, we're going to be doing some mule deer body hair. Typically you want to go on the darker side, so normally on the side patch or flank. It's going to be a little bit less flary than a belly patch. It's going to have these darker tips to it. Next, you're going to need some red Rooster Hackle for the body. One shorter one is normally fine. You're just going to be palmering the body with it. You'll also need some orange poly yarn. In this case, it's a 4-strand. And for the smaller flies, you're going to want to separate the strands out into single strands to wrap the body. You can also use an orange dubbing or a chenille. Whatever you got handy will work just fine. The fly's all done. You want to finish it off with some head cement or some Sally Hansen's just to seal up the head. For tools, we're going to need our thread. You can tie this one in a rust brown 6/0 uni, or in our case, we're going to be using a 6/0 uni in black. Your favorite bobbin, some nice sharp scissors, a comb to clean out the fur with, half-hitch tool to finish off the fly, bodkin for picking, some tweezers to get rid of any wayward hairs, hackle pliers to wrap the hackle with, whip finish tool to finish the fly off and make a nice head. You're also going to need 1 to 2 hair stackers. You have one for the tail and one for the overwing. It makes it a little bit quicker and easier for you. That'll cover all the materials you're going to need for this fly. Fairly simple, straightforward, easy, and wonderful little pattern. For the mule deer for the tail, we're going to be cutting off a little bit less than 1/4 of a pencil. That'll do. And we're going to comb out all the fluff and underfur. We're going to place that one into one of our hair stackers. Give it a good number of taps to settle it in. And we'll do the same thing for our overwing. And we're going to take just slightly more for our overwing than our tail. It's easier to take some out than to add some in. Again, clean that out with a brush. Get rid of any short broken strands and underfur. And put that into our second stacker. And tap it down. That'll conclude all the materials, prep, and tools that you need to tie the fly. Today we're going to be tying a Bucktail Caddis. We're going to be starting off with our uni thread in black. And we're going to start our thread at the 1/3 mark. Just about where we're going to be tying in our overwing. This will be a good reminder for you for body proportions. We'll just bring that thread base all the way back. I'm going to stop just between the point and the barb right there. And we'll go 4 or 5 wraps back. Cut off our waist piece. We're going to start tying our tail in just at the point right there. We're tying our tail in a little bit farther back than we normally would on most flies. You're going to want to clean and stack your deer hair. I'm just going to remove a few broken pieces. Okay, for our tail, we're going to be tying this in a little bit shorter than most. Going to be the gap height of the hook. So just pop your tail down. Should be just pointing down past the hook point from the shank. And tie it in right on top. Now pinch the deer hair. Give it a soft wrap. Point it slightly towards yourself as you tighten the wrap down. And do that 1 or 2 more times until it's secured to the top of the shank of the hook. Continue to do medium wraps down and do heavier and heavier wraps into those fibers to help lock it in on top. Once you get 4 or 5 of those in, you should be good to let go of the tail. And it should stay nice and on top of the hook point there, or the hook shank for you there. Next, we'll gather all the tail fibers up, bringing them up top, cutting them off on an angle to that 1/3 mark. And just clean up any ones you missed. There we are. Handy tip for deer hair is to seal the ends. Do that with a little Bic lighter and just give it a quick protecting your thread with your fingers. Once that's done, we'll work all those ends in and continue our wraps back. Less and less tension as we're coming up to that point in the hook there. I'm going to go just past the point, medium to light tension, and even lighter as we come up. We're going to stop between the point and the barb. You want to have your tail coming along the top of the shank like so, and covering both sides of the shank with a little bit of flare. Not a whole lot. Basically looking like a broom. Let's clean up a few more of those points there. Our next material tie-in is going to be our poly yarn in orange. We're going to be tying in a single strand of that here. Again, starting the tie-in at the 1/3 mark. Again, the tip end. All the way back to our tie-in. And pop that up in our material clip. Next we have our hackle fiber. Nice red rooster. We're going to be pulling it down and trimming it off at the wet point right there. After trimming it off, you'll want to shorten these fibers up, removing a bit like so. That'll act as a bit of a Velcro, holding your hackle fibers in, giving them less chance to slip back. Untie that in along the body with a little bit of the bare stem coming out for the first wrap. Another option for the body is to tie in a thin piece of copper wire and to palmer it backwards from the front. Next we'll be tying in our body material. We just want to make sure that's covering all of our thread on our way up there. With most overwing flies, it's a good idea to have a slightly thicker thorax or to slowly taper up to a thicker thorax. You do that by doubling up your wraps as you go closer, or do the whole thing and back up a third and double that part up. This will allow your overwing to stand up a little bit better and give you that nice cigar shape. We're going to tie that right off at the 1/3 mark there and get rid of our waste piece. You can also tie this body material in lovely marigold yellow, orange, red, and an olive green. There's many variations on this fly. The most common is the orange. Make an easier start for yourself. Just bend your hackle slightly so it stands at a 90 from your hook. This will help your first couple wraps from having stray fibers going left and right for you. And attach your hackle plier. And we're going to palmer that hackle up. all the way to the front. I want to space it out about a bodkin width apart. And then tie it off again at that third mark. We'll clean up any hackle pieces, get rid of our waste end. You can save that for nymph legs or other flies. And we're just going to get rid of any stray hackle fibers that were going forward. And finish this section off with a half hitch. That'll bind your tension in. Lightly bring that back, and we're just going to make a nice, want to create a soft, flat ramp to tie in that overwing. So we're just cleaning this up, removing any lumps. We're not making a head quite yet. It's just for the overwing to set. So give you a nice, cleaner overwing. If you're having issues with your overwing, especially if you're using squirrel or something along those lines instead of the bucktail, or sorry, instead of the mule deer, you can add a dab of glue at this point, or head cement. Okay, let's pull out our overwing. I'll make sure your tips are nice and straight. And I like to pack it like a snowball. And just clean out any leftover fibers. And we're going to measure that up. We want to have it just short, about halfway on the tail. Just short of the end of the tail there. Pin it down with our other hand, keep it in place, and do some soft wraps to hold it in. Just reposition it there. Pin those hackle fibers out of the way. And start with our first soft wrap. And a second. And a third. I'm going to do about 5 wraps going back toward the point. Medium tension. That should lock most of our head in, or most of our overwing in for us. Should be able to let go at that point, but do so sparingly. And add more wraps if it's not quite there for you yet. So you can see it's quite loose. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to go through those loose head fibers and bind down with medium to hard tension as we're going forward. That's going to flare it. We'll continue to bind down. That'll stop it from spinning on you. Once you're at that point, you should be able to let go of the overwing without much chance of it spinning on you. And it should be nice and on top of the hook there for you. To lock in that tension, you're going to want to throw in a couple half hitches. Throw it on your half hitch tool. Find the head. Slide it over. Do that a couple times. And it's okay if you're binding in a few hairs doing so. Now we'll just stop it from coming loose in case you lose tension on your thread. Okay, now I'll want to clean up the head by removing all the fibers. The alternative to this part here would be to cut it to size before you do that first tie-in, which can save you some time. You just run the risk of cutting it too short and having your threads sliding off, so it won't be as firmly attached. But it does make it a little bit quicker, and you can practice both methods. Neither one is right nor wrong, just working all these fibers forward first. So don't remove any of the hackles that we don't need to. And right underneath, we're going to remove that waste material. The traditional pattern for this one is going to be to remove all this. You can cut this off on a 45-degree angle and have a nice poofy head on it as well, if you like that style better. Now, this is where tweezers come in handy. You can pluck off any that are harder to get with the scissors. Most of them should break off pretty easy for you. And just like we did for the tail, we're going to seal it up with lighter. Again, making sure that your thread is out of the way. Hackle fibers are pulled back. Protecting the rest of the fly with your fingers, so just the head sticking out. And just really quickly, just want to singe those ends. They should go to a nice brown. That'll seal them, and it'll also shrink them up a bit so you have an easier time to tie in the head. If you're having trouble getting all those cut ends to sink in so you don't have an oversized head, just touch them up with a Sharpie pen, and then if you do miss any, they won't be as noticeable and you won't have to worry about too much thread and overdoing the size of your head. Now we're going to work on building that head. We're going to work from the eye back, some medium to heavy wraps, and rebinding all that material back down. As we get closer to the overwing, we're going to switch to mediums to soft wraps and get softer as we go back. Again, just building that head up. And back down again. I'll go for a medium bulbous head, as these insects have quite large, shiny black heads. Depending on the time of year, you are tying these with the burnt orange. Those are going to be a more common coloration for the head in the earlier season before they get into their full adult range. And there we go. I finish that portion off with a couple half hitches, and then we'll whip finish. Tighten each half hitch before you continue. And we'll get our whip finish in. 3 to 5 wraps, normally fine. Working way back to the point. And then tighten it up just before you cut off your waist. Place your finger on the bobbin, add a little tension, cut off your waist end. That'll prevent the thread from flying away on you. You have to rethread a lot less bobbins that way. There we are. That's our Bucktail Caddis. Just gonna throw some head cement on there, give it a nice lacquer look. The head cement will soak in and start to melt the wax on the uni thread, which will seal it and give it a much more durable finish to the head. Keep that overwing in place. Once it sets up for a moment, we can add a little bit of varnish. In this case, Sally Hansen's Fast Dry. Again, adding not only some shine, but some durability to the head. A little bit goes a long way because we already have the head cement on there. It's got a little thread fiber. There we are. And there we have a Bucktail Caddis, all finished up and ready to go. This is a wonderful pattern for the mid to early spring and mid to late summer when the hatches come out and you start getting a lot of insect activity. Of course, it's also really famous for being around October as an October Caddis. But this is Bucktail Caddis, which generally represents a lot more sedges and other things that come out before you have your October Caddis hatches. Still a wonderful little pattern to have in your box or searching, and it should always have a couple of these in there. Wonderful little pattern. Thank you all.